So those were the challenges I kind of faced at first, was just the overload of information and where to get started. I did go to university to study computer science once I kind of settled on it, but quickly went through it and found out it's not really for me.
Can you talk us through how you transitioned from IT support into cybersecurity? What did that journey look like? Certifications, training, experiences, and what from IT support did you think helped you land your first cybersecurity role? Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. In this video I have the wonderful Lola Loves Tech. She's a cybersecurity engineer and also a tech influencer, and she's going to share her journey into tech with no degree. Would you like to introduce yourself and let the audience know who you are, what you do, and all those amazing things?
Hi everyone, I am Lola, who also goes by Lola Loves Tech on all socials. I am a cybersecurity engineer. I've been doing cybersecurity for just around 5 years now. I started on the GRC side of things, so compliance and all of that stuff, and then I moved on to the technical side of things, and now I'm just speaking about cybersecurity, educating people about tech in general. Yeah, that's me.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you for sharing what you do and all the amazing things that you've achieved. So, can you talk me through your journey from secondary school and high school to your current career?
So, starting with secondary school, tech and that sort of thing wasn't really spoken about, encouraged. I'd never heard of a software engineer until I'd gotten a little bit older, and I was really unsure about whether I was going to go to university after college or work. And I kind of just stumbled into tech and found out about software engineering and people code and build computers for a living. So for me, I'd been someone who'd always spent a lot of time on computers, but there was this long period where I was just working and doing stuff on my own, so like freelancing and just building stuff and doing GitHub like repositories and all of this kind of thing without really any direction or working in an actual tech role. I kind of was just working in retail. I did go to university to study computer science once I kind of settled on it, but quickly went through it and found out it's not really for me. And didn't actually finish university. I then just decided when I was about 24, 25 to take it really serious and just start wherever I could get my foot in the door, which was help desk. And I was in help desk for 18 months before I got into cybersecurity.
Wow, fantastic. Can you talk us through how you transitioned from IT support into cybersecurity? What did that journey look like? Certifications, training, experiences, and what from IT support did you think helped you land your first cybersecurity role?
So for me, with IT, that's where my cybersecurity interest got sparked. There were a few components to the role that were cybersecurity focused. So then I started looking around, researching online tools, YouTube, Twitter, social media, like full on ahead research. And I discovered the Continuous Security Plus certification, which seemed like the best overall cert to take. And I was following a lot of Americans at the time, and this is a requirement for a lot of American cybersecurity jobs. So I just decided this is what I'm going to do. I put my head down and focused on it. And also just being in those communities that I had joined through research, YouTube and Twitter, I was able to speak about current events in cybersecurity, plus coupled with learning everything I learned from the certification. That's really what helped me shine in my cybersecurity interviews. So they were all entry-level roles that I went for at first, but just kind of the feedback I got was how I spoke about cybersecurity, how I was really interested and connected with the community, as well as the certification, were what helped me kind of break in.
Okay, so why did you pick a career in cybersecurity? You could have done cloud engineering, you could have done software engineering. There are so many roles. What was it about cybersecurity that you said, yeah, this is the career I want to pursue?
I think it was just my interest in it, interested in hacks, interested in how computer operating systems worked, protecting those systems, was just way more interesting to me and pulled me in a lot faster than everything else. My initial idea when I started this tech journey was to be a software engineer, but that quickly pivoted. And once I'd pivoted over to cybersecurity, I kind of never looked back or never got my interest sparked in anything else, to be honest.
So, what were the challenges you faced during your journey into becoming an IT support and going into cybersecurity? What are the realities and the difficulties when you're going through this journey of getting into tech?
I think just not knowing where to start, where is the best place to learn these things, where is the best place to start applying for jobs, who to speak to. I think those were the biggest challenge, literally just the lack of information. And sometimes when you do go online, you can get bombarded with so many different things. It's like, where do you start? So like with coding, you'd hear someone say Java is a really good language, or Python's a really good language, or R or React. And it's just like, you kind of have to push yourself into making a decision and sticking with the decision, but then also knowing when it's not right for you and when to pivot. So those were the challenges I kind of faced at first, was just the overload of information and where to get started. I didn't know that IT, like entry level first line help desk roles, were roles that you could easily get into kind of just learning on your own. So once I kind of figured that out, it was a lot easier.
Great, that's really useful information. And I think, in regards to what you're saying, there's information overload, right? When people say get into tech, it's like it could literally mean like, you become a doctor, you could become a neurosurgeon or a heart surgeon. So I think I understand sort of that difficulty in terms of like blurring out the noise and ensuring that you have a directed and guided path in regards to your journey or your next step to your next career. So thank you very much. Cybersecurity, what does it mean? And what are the different roles within cybersecurity? And what sort of things could you expect working within those different roles within cybersecurity?
So cybersecurity, in a simple term, is the protection of an organization's software, networks, and their systems, just protecting them from data leaks and also from hackers. And there's so many roles in cybersecurity. You could be an incident response, you could be a security engineer, you could be a cybersecurity analyst, you could be an information security analyst, you could be an information security manager. And that's just a few roles off the top of my head. It's a lot broader. There's different roles in risk, in compliance, and you can also have roles that are technical and roles that are non-technical. So it's very, very broad.
Nice. And within your journey, I read you went from analyst to engineer. What's the difference between an analyst and engineer?
So for me, with an analyst, it's more of analyzing the different tools and outputs that they give out. So it's kind of like relaying back the different security tools that you have in the company's reports to the business. And that's kind of the root of that role, where you still need to be able to understand what is being said, what is being put out, but you don't have to architecture it, which is what I feel like in an engineering role, you're doing a lot of the architecture, a lot of the building, a lot of the setting up of the policies. And to be honest, with cybersecurity, I feel like roles now are quite interchangeable. So you might find an analyst role that is doing all of those things also.
Awesome. That's great. So yeah, guys, it looks like there's a plethora of cybersecurity roles, and also there are non-technical cybersecurity roles as well, which would be worth looking into. What advice would you give someone who wants to get into tech, like generally into tech, and also what advice would you give to someone who's looking to get into cybersecurity?
So My advice for anyone wanting to get into tech and cybersecurity would be quite similar. I would say, because it's the same thing. You need to do your research up front. You need to ask yourself the questions: what do I want to be doing on a day-to-day basis? Am I a technical person? Do I want to be working in a more of a managerial role? And like, what are my end goals? And I don't think you have to be too stuck on those, but you have to have a general idea, general guideline of where you're looking to go with your tech career. And I think it's the same for cybersecurity. You'd have to do your research up front. Do you want to be an analyst? Do you want to work on the non-technical side? Do you want to work on the highly technical side? Do you want to work in a niche area like blockchain security or cloud security? So asking yourself these questions at the very start and giving yourself a little bit of time to research, understand the different roles, looking at different job roles before kind of diving head into learning and understanding these things, I think will help you have a clearer journey and would always be my first step for anyone interested in getting into tech. And then also just like have a bit of confidence. Everyone who's in tech started not knowing tech. Do you know what I mean? So they don't have two heads. They learn. They took the time and the dedication to learn what they know now, and you also can take time and learn and figure it out.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that's really important in terms of doing your research. And oftentimes people just say they want to get into tech, but they haven't bothered doing the research, or they might reach out to one of us and be like, I want to get into tech, help. And it's like, I can't help you if you haven't necessarily got a specific route or idea of what you want. But I think that's one of the challenges that I had in terms of I wanted to get into tech, but I just didn't know what to do. But I kind of just took whatever opportunity was there, leveraged that, and then saw what I like and didn't like, and then that gave me more like understanding of what it is that I wanted to pursue. So I think research. If you can't research, then should you really be working within the field to begin with? You know. Okay, so what advice would you give someone who's already working in the field to help level up in their career and go, to the next level and explore new things and really make the most of their tech journey?
I think the first thing I would recommend is to look at having a mentor. So whether that's someone who's currently in your company, your workplace, just someone that you can ask the questions and get the answers, the real answers to on how to progress. Because I feel like companies do put out like a lot of progression reports, like do this, do that, but you'll find that a lot of people, it's either they got to where they were just because they were the only one that knew a certain thing, or they met someone and kind of kept in touch and networked with that person until a role that was suitable for them became available, or they marketed themselves on things like LinkedIn, Twitter, social media, just to show their skills and were poached. So it's not really a one size fits all for moving forward. And that's something I always say to people with a tech career. You can't look at someone else's and try and emulate exactly what they've done and think that's going to work for you. Yours might be completely different. But I think once you decide that you do want to move forward, you do want to move up, having the focus and then setting out a very clear plan. So are you going to be getting certifications? Are you going to build a portfolio? Are you going to be networking a lot? Are you going to be asking the questions? Because I feel like a lot of people just don't ask, okay, wait, so I've learned all these skills in the past year and a half. Is it possible to move to this role? Is it possible to move to this team? Having those conversations with managers, having those conversations with colleagues are very, very important. And I think that's how you start to move up and not just move from that place where you're not sure what to do, but to continue. So once you get to the next level, using those same skills that you've learned, networking, having a mentor, asking the right questions will propel you into those senior leadership roles.
Great. That's a really good point you mentioned about the mentorship program, because sometimes you don't know what you don't know. And I guess having a mentor who works within the field or a career that you're interested in, they can give you the truth in terms of what to expect, how to navigate to your career and ensure that you are in on the right path and are directional and intentional about your next move. And it's quite interesting because networking is so important, because that's where you could meet your future employer. That's where you find out, what's going on in the industry. That's where you find out potentially job opportunities. You might meet hiring managers or even just friends within the same community, within the same network. So it's really good, discussing the importance of having someone not above you, but someone with a bit more experience within the field you're interested in, so they can guide you in your direction for your next career path. Okay, so where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
For me, I think I have a big focus on education. I'm really passionate about tech education. Before I was kind of educating online and on social media, I was teaching kids how to code, so never kind of leaving the education space. There's very few people like me in senior roles or who are like very niche down, so I feel like I'll be niched down in one area of cybersecurity and be an expert, subject matter expert in that area. And yeah, so education and more cybersecurity, I suppose I see myself in the next 5 years.
Awesome. That's so interesting because that's sort of the direction I was thinking of going. And the reason why I loved hearing you say that is because I feel like, when it comes to tech education, there is a specific demographic of people that lead and run the tech education space. So it's so lovely to hear someone who's aligned in terms of inspiring other people like ourselves and, being different within the tech education space to hopefully motivate and inspire the young people. And I think leading on to tech education, it's so important because I feel like even within jobs, I think the barriers to tech is the technical language. And I
Yeah,
think, you know, once you understand the concepts, like it's pretty logical most of the time. But the problem is the barriers to get into tech is the technical language, and the technical language that's used is not necessarily expressed in an understandable format, which is one of the reasons it puts off people from pursuing careers within technology. So, obviously, with your senior expertise, your SME knowledge, like it's going to be amazing, and I really look forward to seeing Lola Loves Tech, the tech education series. And
yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. It was lovely speaking about all of this stuff.
right, that brings us to the end of our interview. Thank you so much, Lola, for sharing your expertise, your knowledge, and we're all super excited about what the future has for you. But if you'd like more videos like this, make sure you like, subscribe, share, and comment, and I'll be back with another video. Bye.